Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Nonlinear Recovery Life of Jessica. I'm Jessica, and I'm glad you've stumbled across my little corner of the universe, the internet over here. So I thought I would do a, this is not working well for people with glasses, just so you know, ring lights are not our friend. So I thought I'd do kind of a quick, I'm gonna try to be quick. We're actually going to eat, so I'm gonna try to be super quick. Little January wrap up of the books I was able to read in January, as well as what a new thing I have started and the books that I actually bought in January. Because I'm kind of trying to keep up with those two to see if maybe I read more than I buy, which we already know the answer to that is probably no. So this may be a little sporadic. I may like clip some videos together. We'll see how it goes. So as you've seen, here's my bookshelves. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is I started a book journal, and I've never book journaled before. This was a new concept for me. I was kind of hard on myself. I kept telling myself I couldn't do it because my handwriting is not good, and I knew they wouldn't be as pretty as some of the other ones I've seen. And I kind of got this idea on TikTok, Book Talk more specifically, but I have started book journaling, and I'm actually enjoying it a little bit. So I just got a dotted journal, just so you can kind of see like the blank pages, and I just got a black one so I could put stickers on it. I think this sticker actually comes from Beth Revis. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's where that was from, so I need a good place to stick it. So mine came with a table of contents already set. I know some people get, make their own, but I kind of liked that it was already in there, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I started out with just to kind of get it on the right side. I did 2022, and I just did a year in books, and I did spring, summer, fall, and winter, kind of corresponding colors to each season. And then I was supposed to put this page next, but I kind of messed up, so we'll just skip and pretend it's there. So I did a book goal for 2022. My goal is to read 30 books at least. If I do more, then that'll be great. I've left myself a little bit of room, and I just charted it so each color corresponds with the number of stars I gave the book. And so far I have read 6 books. I'm on my 7th book. I will not have it finished today. And then I put like a little space or a little line for me to write when I've met my 30 book goal. So the next spread I have is I have my January spread. I put January on the side. I kind of don't really know what to do with this space up here. My plan was to put how many pages I read, like just for the month, because I think that would be kind of cool. But I may end up doing some kind of pie chart with the genres I've read. I think that's where my brain was thinking. So on one side I put books read, and the other side I put books bought. I did buy more books than I read. Go figure. So let me get the books that I've read. But I just thought I'd give you guys kind of that little thing. I have not done, I have, just kidding. I did start my February spread, so I've got books read, books bought over here again, and then once again I've got this random space. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I should have gave myself more room on this. I guess I could move it up, it's fine. But that's February. It's not super pretty, but it gets the job done. So let me get to the books that I did read this year, or so far, and my thoughts on them. Some of them I kept, some of them I gave away, so I'll put up the cover. I'll pop it up here if I don't have it. So let's do that. Okay. So first book I read this year for this month was Flowers for Algernon, and I'll pop it up here. I gave this one away. It is by, and I'm gonna like reference my book journal here. It is by Daniel Keyes. It is a story based on a boy named Charlie who goes through a surgical process to basically raise his IQ. It was a much more, I guess, emotional book than I expected. A lot of people said that you would probably cry. I did not cry, but I came very close. But it basically follows Algernon as a mouse that has also went through the same surgical process that Charlie has. And it follows as he progressively gets smarter, and then what happens as a outcome of that. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was beautiful. I love that the book itself is written through his journals. So as he progressively, as his IQ gets higher, the writing style changes because obviously he's learning grammar, he's learning how to write properly, and he's learning more vocabulary. And I thought it was a very interesting way to tell the story. I thought it was beautiful. I highly recommend. I kind of wish I would have read it in school. I don't really know why I didn't read it in school. I have all my books laid out here. That's why I keep bending down. So, next book I read was I bought back while Barnes & Noble had their half off sale for hardbacks. I bought The Lore Olympus Volume 1 Webtoons by Rachel Smith. Smithy? Gorgeous. 5 stars. I had never read any webtoons until now, and I love that it was in book form. The artwork is absolutely stunning. And it's beautiful. Highly recommend if you like graphic novels. That's actually one of the first graphic novels I've ever read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The second volume comes out this year, and you best believe I will be ordering that. So the third book I read, and I gave this one away, is Gone Girl. I actually let a fellow teacher have it, or coworker have it. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. 1 star for me. It is not my genre. It is not my forte. I was bored. I wanted it over. I've never had a book I wanted to skip to the ending so fast, not because I was like, oh, I have to know. It was more like, can I just be done? I don't say that to say it's a bad book. I think it was really well written, and if you're into that kind of mystery, suspenseful thriller genre, go for it. I highly recommend it. It was not my genre, so therefore that's why I gave it 1 star. Next one I read was The Odds of Lightning, and this is by Jocelyn Davis. I gave it 2 stars. I've honestly had it on my shelf for a while, and even trying to sit here and think of like what the synopsis is. I can't even give it to you. I think if I would have read it back when I bought it, I probably would have enjoyed it more, because my younger self, definitely that would have related to her better. It was an interesting story. Now I remember a little bit more. Basically, a big major lightning storm comes to New York, and these 4 friends get struck by lightning, and they end up developing supernatural powers because of it. And they basically, it's a very like finding yourself, coming of age, growing up, going through changes with friendships and relationships. Like I said, I probably would have connected more to it if I'd have read it when I was younger. But that was the 4th book I read. 5th book was The Austen Escape, which is this one by Catherine Ray. Beautiful. I read another book by Catherine Ray a few years ago. It's called Dear Mr. Knightley. Just as good. I love her style. I love the writing. This one was about a girl named Mary Davis, who her childhood friend Isabel invites her to a 2-week stay in Bath, London, where basically it's like an Jane Austen retreat, and there are a lot of references to Jane Austen books in here. I'm not a big Jane Austen fan, but I didn't feel like not knowing enough about it led me to feeling like I couldn't enjoy the book. I really enjoyed this. I like her writing style too, so I gave that one 5 stars. I would read it again. And I stamped it with my book stamp, so I kept it. And then the last one I got to this month, unfortunately, I got 6 done, so I won't even say unfortunately. I'm pretty proud of myself. I typically read like 4 books a month if it's not, maybe 3 if it's during the school year, so I'm proud of myself. But I read Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. I've never gotten to read this. I also did not realize that this was the book that the Deathly Hallows story of the 3 brothers came from. I did not connect that until I read this. 5 stars. If you love Harry Potter, then you need to read these 2. I've also read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I have a third one in the Hogwarts Library set that I have, and that is, I think it's the Quidditch Through the Years one, so I've got to read it, but this one was great. So we'll move on quickly to the books that I bought. Definitely bought more than I read, but it's fine. I'll get to them eventually, so I'm going to try to go quick. I bought Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I'm actually not quite sure what kind of retelling this one is. I know by the same author there's one that's like a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, but I bought this one, plus the cover is gorgeous. So there's one. Next one I bought, I didn't buy these in order, but these are just the ones I have in my hand. I bought the graphic novel, told you I'm getting addicted, to The Great Gatsby. I thought this was, there's a couple of different ones, but honestly this one just struck me. The colors and the scenery are beautiful. The artwork is gorgeous. So I'm very excited. I love The Great Gatsby movie more than the book, so maybe this will make me like the book a little bit more. And also like that the cover was like two-sided. Then I bought 2 books from Ollie's, which if you're not hitting up Ollie's, you need to get your life together. So I bought When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. Don't know anything about it except for it's 2 girls that were suddenly best friends and then they weren't anymore. And I've been there, so I was intrigued. I also bought this one at Ollie's. I've looked at this a couple times. I finally just bit the bullet and bought it. It's The Girl Behind the Red Rope by Ted Decker and Rachel Decker. Husband and wife, I'm assuming. I haven't looked into it. I think this is some kind of retelling with Little Red Riding Hood, but I'm not quite sure. Think Hunger Games, but more of the districts, because they're basically trapped into their certain area and they're not allowed to go past the red rope because of the monsters that are outside of the red rope. It's also not that big, so I kind of was intrigued. Next one, Mark actually bought me this one. It's called At the Wolf's Table, and this is a World War II novel. It is inspired by the true story of Hitler's food tasters. So basically it is following a 25-year-old girl who has been taken with a bunch of other women to become the ones who are pulled to taste Hitler's food before he eats it. I'm a sucker for a good World War II novel. I love it. I'm obsessed already. Don't even know if it's going to be good, but I bet it will. Last one I bought. This one's been on my wish list for a while, basically ever since I saw it come out. I think as a book of the month option. The Final Girls Support Group. Basically, when you think Final Girl, you think like, scary movies. It's The Final Girl Left. Basically, it's all a group of girls that have been, they were the last ones in a severe traumatic problem. And it's just kind of like them coping with it and dealing with it. I don't know much else about it. I really like the cover and I like the premise, so I'm sold. But that's basically my month of January. I'm kind of excited to start this book journal journey. I didn't think I would be into it, but I'm liking it. So we'll see how it goes. And I'll try to update you guys every month of how many books I read compared to how many I bought. I think I bought like 8 books and I read like 6. So y'all tell me if I counted right in the comments, just glancing. But other than that, that's about all I got. Everything's going decent. We're like 9 months out from our wedding, so so I think that's maybe why I'm reading more, because I'm trying not to stress. Anyway, but I'll see you guys soon. I hope you all are doing well, and do something for yourself today. I love you. Cheering for you. Bye.